Are you stretching every day but not really seeing results? Chances are you're making one of these 5 common mistakes. In this video, I'm going to show you what these common mistakes are and most importantly, show you how to fix them so you can actually start to improve your flexibility. If you're new here, hi, my name is Zira. I'm a circus artist and movement coach, and I have spent years of my life studying and practicing different methods of training the body. And now I share these tools with people like you to help explore movement in a safe and effective way. Through my years of experience as a flexibility coach, I've worked with beginner students who just want to learn how to touch their toes, all the way to professional level artistic athletes who are training some more advanced skills. And the principles that I'm about to share with you in this video apply to every level. My personal approach to training combines years of personal practice, research, and coaching to show you not just what to do, but why it actually works. Alright, let's dive into this video. The first and most important mistake, and also the most common mistake, is ignoring the role of the nervous system when stretching. A lot of people think that flexibility is just about stretching the muscles. But actually, you have an internal system or a secret switch that helps to control how much your body allows you to move. And that secret switch is, of course, your nervous system. If your nervous system feels stressed or unsafe, it's going to respond by locking down your muscles and tightening them to protect you. You might notice this as shaking or hitting a wall or feeling stuck in a stretch that doesn't improve no matter how long you've been stretching for. The good news is that we can fix this mistake by creating a healthier relationship to our nervous system. And this can be done through some simple nervous system regulation techniques like slowing our breathing, exhaling into our stretches, and of course, some gentle, dynamic movements before our stretching sessions. Remember that when your body feels safe, it will relax naturally and then your muscles can follow. So whenever we're stretching, we really want to prioritize the regulation of our nervous system and really relaxing into our stretches. Which then brings me to mistake number 2, forcing flexibility. I want you to remember that whenever you force yourself deeper into stretches, it's almost always going to backfire and push your progress even further back. I need you to hear me when I say this. Pain does not equal progress when it comes to flexibility training, okay? Pain is what triggers our nervous system to tighten and not loosen, thus ruining our progress, right? And pain doesn't always show up very obviously. Sometimes you might notice it as holding your breath, gritting your teeth, or more obviously as sharp discomfort instead of a gentle stretch. Now, the fix for this mistake, thankfully, is really easy. We are not going to be forcing ourselves and pushing ourselves super deep to the point of pain. Instead, we're going to be stretching at around 70 to 80% of our maximum range, really focusing on breathing and relaxing into the stretch rather than forcing, okay? This method is going to allow our bodies to gradually release tension over time and gradually improve our range rather than forcing for immediate improvement and then suffering the consequences of having micro tears in our muscles. Moving on to mistake number 3, only doing passive or static stretches. First, let's understand what a static or passive stretch is. A static or passive stretch is where you're sitting in a pose for a set amount of time and just waiting for your muscles to gradually relax over this time period. Relying solely on this type of stretching can temporarily improve your range. However, it becomes quite difficult and dangerous because your body doesn't understand how to actually control this range in movement. For example, if I'm training for the front splits, but I'm only using passive stretches, I might be able to sit in a passive front split stretch, but I probably won't be able to activate and engage these muscles to use this full range of motion in my dynamic movements. The solution for this mistake is to mix in different methods and techniques of stretching, including active and dynamic stretches. Active stretches help us to engage and strengthen those muscles in our range, and dynamic stretches help us to use controlled movements to gradually increase the mobility and flexibility in this range. Utilizing these different methods help us to teach the body that this range is not only safe, but it's usable as well. And these techniques also help us to gradually increase our flexibility without forcing it. So we're really building off of our last mistake as well. Over time, when we use variety in our stretching techniques and routines, we're gradually increasing our flexibility instead of forcing it, because we're teaching our body that this new range of movement is not only safe, but it's usable as well. So again, we're building off of our last mistake because we're teaching our body we don't have to force our flexibility. Instead, we can try different techniques that help us to gradually extend our flexibility. Mistake number 4, another super common one, is skipping consistency. Flexibility training, just like strength training, requires repeated practice in order to see practical results. Stretching just once in a while isn't going to cut it. If you're missing consistency in your practice, you might notice that you're not progressing as fast as you'd like to be, or you're starting over from the same position every single session. And this can be really frustrating, and the main fix is consistency. You really don't need to be training your flexibility for an hour every single day. I promise you, you really do not. Instead, focus on short, maybe 10 to 15 minute sessions around 3 to 5 times per week, and I promise you, you'll see way better results than the occasional super long session. Finally, we made it to mistake number 5, and in my opinion, this is a very underestimated mistake, which is not stretching your full body. Oftentimes in flexibility training, I see people only focusing on certain skills like the splits, or only focusing on certain areas of the body or a certain side of their body that's their favorite or the most flexible, etc. And then they completely neglect the rest of their body's flexibility. And this is actually really damaging, not only to our progress over time, but also to the overall state of our body. In the body, movement naturally engages both sides. When one side stretches, the other side engages to stabilize. When one side expands, the other side contracts. The same principles apply to flexibility. If you overstretch one side or you favor one side because it already moves more easily, you're creating imbalances in your body that's going to make it way harder to progress, and it's going to actually limit your flexibility overall. Signs of this often include one side of a stretch feeling way easier and the rest of your body holding a lot of stress and tension because of this imbalance. And now don't get me wrong, it's not abnormal to have a favorite side. I have a favorite side as well, but we should be able to notice where we have imbalances in our body and try our best to fix it and create a more cohesive balance in our overall flexibility. The fix for this mistake is luckily pretty easy. We're going to be training our flexibility from a full-bodied approach. So not only are we going to be training both sides of our body, both sides of a stretch, but we're also going to make sure that we're covering all the major muscle groups in our body, including our ankles, our hamstrings, our hips, our core, our back, our chest, our shoulders, our wrists, etc., etc., etc. This way, your flexibility develops evenly and sustainably. It feels better, and of course, it lasts longer. Congratulations, you've made it through these 5 most common flexibility-related mistakes. Now let's do a quick recap just to remember the most important points, all right? Number 1, we're going to prioritize nervous system regulation over our stretching depth. Number 2, we are not going to force our flexibility, and instead we're going to focus on stretching at about 70 to 80% of our maximum range. Number 3, we're going to combine different stretching techniques and methods for variety in our routine. Number 4, we are going to prioritize consistency and do short sessions a few times a week instead of long marathon sessions occasionally. And finally, number 5, we're going to use a full body flexibility approach to avoid any imbalances. Do your best to avoid these mistakes and apply the solutions that I've given you throughout this video, and I promise you, your flexibility is going to open up in a way that you have never seen before. Let me know in the comments down below which of these mistakes you've been making the most often in your own flexibility training, and which of the fixes you're going to try to integrate into your routine this week. And if you want a complete educational guide to understanding flexibility training and a built-in step-by-step plan to build real, sustainable, and effective flexibility, check out my functional flexibility course, which is going to be linked in the description box below, along with a cheeky little discount code. Alright, that is it for this video. If you liked it, make sure that you leave me a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos just like this one. And until the next video, keep stretching, keep kind with yourself and your body, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.